So, if you really think about it, a standard USB cord is basically the tech equivalent of like a very short dog leash.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good way to put it.
Right. I mean, it's absolutely great if your device is sitting, right next to your computer on a desk, but it is entirely useless if you need that connection to reach across a large building.
Oh, completely useless. You're just stuck.
Exactly. So today we are taking a deep dive into how we actually break that physical leash. We're specifically looking at the specs for the Intelix DIGI USB2 extender set. And this is based on product information from HDTV Supply.
And, the mission here is really to figure out why we need specialized hardware for this in the first place. Because you can't just, daisy chain standard USB cables together to make a longer leash.
It just falls apart, right?
Yeah, the signal degrades so rapidly, you just lose the connection entirely. Physical distance is basically the natural enemy of data integrity here.
Right, so to actually shatter those frustrating distance limits, you have to change the transmission medium entirely. You kind of have to take the USB data and put it on a totally different track.
Exactly. So what this system does is it uses an active transmitter and a receiver. It takes your standard USB 2.0 signals, which, remember, run at a really high speed of 480 megabits per second.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it actively translates them to run over standard networking cables.
Mm.
So we're talking about your everyday, you know, Cat5 or Cat6 or 6A twisted pair cabling.
Okay, so I'm picturing the standard USB like a regular city bus. It's great for local stops, moving lots of data over really short distances.
Sure.
But this extender system essentially takes that data off the city bus, loads it onto a high-speed bullet train, which is the networking cable, sends it cross-country, and then puts it right back on a local bus at the exact destination.
That's a perfect way to look at it, actually. And the reason that bullet train works is really just the physics of twisted pair cabling.
Wait, really? How so?
Well, USB is designed for fast, delicate, really short bursts of data. But networking cables use noise-canceling physical twist and stronger voltage pulses. They're designed specifically to push data through long-distance interference.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's how this translated signal can travel a massive 330 feet.
100 meters, that's huge. Plus, looking at the specs, they highlight that this whole process is completely transparent. Like the computer doesn't even know the bullet train part happened.
Right, it has no idea.
It just recognizes the USB device as if it were plugged in 2 inches away. There are no custom drivers to install or anything, so it's strictly plug and play.
And that transparency is crucial. That's
Yeah.
what makes it actually usable across all the major operating systems without causing a headache.
But hold on a second. Getting data across 330 feet of networking cable is one thing, but a USB device still needs power.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You can't just push a tiny 5-volt USB current down a literal football field of network cable, right? Like it would just die halfway.
The voltage drop would absolutely kill it.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why Intelix bypasses the USB power limits entirely. They inject a really robust 24-volt DC power supply right into the system.
Okay, wow.
And the really brilliant part of this design is that this single power supply can be plugged into either the host side or the client side.
Oh, so whichever end happens to be near a wall outlet.
Exactly.
That makes installation so much easier. So regardless of which side is plugged into the wall, it converts that 24 volts down to reliably supply a steady 500 milliamps to the remote USB device.
You got it. But, delivering both that high-speed data and a dedicated power supply over a football field of cable requires serious hardware.
Which explains the price tag, right?
Right, it explains the commercial pricing. We're looking at a system that, well, the MSRP is about $702, but it's currently on sale for around $632.
Yeah, that price point definitely tells you this isn't just for like a home printer.
No, not at all. This is built for rigorous commercial use.
Yeah.
And the physical hardware really reflects that too. I mean, the chassis is this black, rubberized ABS plastic, and it's tiny, only about 3.4 inches long.
So it's meant to be tucked away securely and just completely forgotten about.
Pretty much it.
Right. And the documentation specifically notes applications like extending high bandwidth HD webcams and plenum routing of USB signals.
Right.
And just for anyone out there not doing commercial construction, plenum routing basically just means running those cables safely through the hidden air circulation spaces in commercial ceilings.
Exactly.
Given that our source, HGTV Supply, caters really heavily to massive multi-screen sports bar setups, I mean, it makes perfect sense. You're wiring up a huge high-end venue, not a home office.
Yeah, and I think that brings up a really interesting takeaway for you, the listener. Because in an era where we are completely obsessed with wireless technology, We often forget that the most reliable, high-bandwidth solutions still heavily rely on cleverly adapting our physical infrastructure.
Sometimes you simply just need a hardwire.
You really do. Wireless just can't do everything yet.
Well, that leaves us with this final thought to kind of mull over. If we can seamlessly convert and blast high-speed USB data and power across 300 feet of networking cable today, what other frustrating physical hardware boundaries will we eliminate next as our homes and commercial spaces become fully integrated?
It's a great question to think about.
It really seems like that short little tech dog leash is finally coming off. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, and we'll catch you next time.